dress in the grip of fast fashion. But this means there is a massive environmental fallout. We're sending 1.2 million tonnes of textiles to landfill every year, and fewer than 16% of what we buy is actually being recovered. Now, even though I try to be good, I'm not an exception to the rule, I'm afraid, and this is my guilty secret. There's one wardrobe, and it's not just this one. This one as well. All up here, belts, tights, etc. And this is really symptomatic. All our wardrobes are fit to bursting, particularly, and I'm sorry to be so gender specific, if you are a woman. My husband's clothes are, well, they're pretty much confined to half of this down there. That's all the poor man has. And it's really about how we can utilise this and decrease our fashion footprint and just try and think my way through a more sustainable wardrobe. Too small, that's quite nice actually. And I forgot about that. Now, it doesn't matter how careful you are, everybody makes major wardrobe errors. Now, this is one of mine. I feel a little bit ashamed here. These are some linen trousers, which I bought at great expense, I may add, because I was assured they were the thing of the season. This was last year sometime. I wore these once and I just felt like Coco the Clown, and I don't think anyone else had a pair of trousers that was quite so billowing with quite so much fabric in them. Chuck out everything from your wardrobe, throw it in a bag, and then you donate it to charity, and I use the term donate very loosely, and then it becomes basically someone else's problem, which is exactly what it does become unless you're very, very specific about what you actually give to charity so that it's really useful stuff. Right, here we are. This is all the detritus from my wardrobe, and now I just need to work out exactly what I'm going to do with it. Jeans, these are not a desirable colour anymore, nor shape. I know for a fact these are really not a shape that I want to wear anymore. But I know there is a good market in the developing world for repurposed denim. So I know that a charity will be able to get something for those, even though they might not be a fashionable shape here. Now, another thing that is habitually thrown into landfill are tights. We ladder them very easily, we get through them very easily, and they're considered to be a very low value, and you know, who wants old tights? Well, there is an organisation that does want them. They're full of lycra. They're actually really important from a medical point of view. And there is an organisation that collects these and will send them to Ethiopia, where they're used basically as bandages for women after childbirth. And they're very, very important, and they kind of need a constant supply of those. So as if by magic, we're going to put that address on the screen. And I'm going to, these are washed, by the way, I should just reiterate that. I'm going to just put them in a jiffy bag, and then I'm going to label this up, and I am going to send it on. So that's a very good way of repurposing something that always gets thrown in the bin. Now, believe it or not, British bras are very much prized, particularly throughout the developing world, because they're very well engineered, they are good fabric, they're well made. So these can be repurposed. It doesn't matter even if they're a little bit broken, because they can be mended quite simply, and they still do have a lot of value. Now, sometimes charity shops don't realise, if you actually take them in, that they are needed and they can take them. So you may actually have to kind of educate the people that work in the shops. Any sustainable wardrobe management project, you need to look at preserving these accessories. So I'm just going to cut these off and keep them, and I'm going to use them in something else. They really are quite nice buttons, actually. My skill level is quite limited, so I'm not going to be able to make anything fantastic, but I know that this is a very, very good linen. I mean, I can see it, I can feel it. It's so wide that you could make some little cushions out of that very easily, because the seams are already there. But because it's so good, I would really consider giving this to someone who actually knows what they're doing, like Junkie Styling, who've been refashioning stuff for about 15 years. So a hem becomes a sleeve, a collar used to be a bit of a skirt. It's all been really nicely put together like a kind of jigsaw. There's panels in this which were from another old skirt that I had, which is actually even a sort of nylon fabric, which I wouldn't have thought that you could repurpose. And I think if you've got a really nice piece, it's worth doing that with, so it can live on in your wardrobe. Now, towels which have seen better days, because we're talking about all textiles here, we really don't want these going to landfill. You know, to be honest, really, this is not going to sell through a charity shop very easily. Now, some animal charities are desperate for old towels. They can use them as bedding, they're just very useful. Or if you've got your own pet, then you can use them closer to home.